Hello, hello. I am so excited to be back this week. I apologize for bailing on you guys last week. I was so sick. Oh, I was so laid out. I'm still recovering. So I apologize for any, throat clearing or a little bit of coughing you may hear today. But I'm out of the woods and very grateful for it. So, um, if someone could just tell me in the chat if you're able to hear me, if you see me just fine. I just always like to check before I really dive into anything. If you're new here today, welcome and thank you for being here. If you're reoccurring, if this is not your first time and you're back, I'm so happy to see you again. I truly missed you guys last week. It was really hard for me to admit that I was too sick to do it. So I'm happy to be back today. Thank you, Jamel. Um, thank you, Lydian Empress. Ooh, that's a fun. And thank you, Katrina. Good to know I'm fully available and audible. Um, just by way of a quick announcement, we have our tapping challenge that goes live tomorrow. So excited about it. There are some special exclusive tapping events that are happening throughout it. So if you have any interest in it, it's a 21-day tap challenge. It's a little bit of tapping every single day. It's a less than 10-minute obligation per day. So it's pretty small in terms of what it is that you have to do to be involved in it. It is something that Dawson is personally involved in. So you will get to spend some time with him if it's something that you do. It's free. And we have about 10,000 people, over 10,000 people in it at this point. So it's going to be a huge, amazing group activity. And the way we're doing it is unique so that it's more of a community aspect. If it's something you want to engage in, you don't have to, because I know sometimes, I like to do things more personally. I'm more introverted sometimes in my healing, but there is an interaction aspect to where if you want that, it's available to you. It's just, I'm really excited about it. So, hello, Mo. It's good to see you too, Marie. Um, hey, Christine. Yeah, so if you want to be involved in that, it's not too late. You can still sign up for it. I will put the link in chat. I didn't get it ahead of time, like I probably should have. I still have a little bit of fuzz brain too from my illness, so just ahead of time so you're aware of that. I'm doing my best. But let's go ahead and start centering ourselves and get ready to tap for today with each other. I do have an email ask that I will bring up after we get all in the same space and same mindset. So, and then we'll get started with what's in the chat. So go ahead and if you've got something that you want to work on today, go ahead and drop it in the chat. And again, if you're uncomfortable with that, if you're new here and you don't know this yet, you can always email me privately. I can say anonymous. I won't say your name unless you give me permission to. If it's something that you want to tap on as a group, but also you don't ever have to. If there's something that you want to tap on, but you don't want anybody to know, you want to tell me, then whatever we tap on here today, you can switch it out with whatever it is that you're dealing with. The way tapping works, it's very flexible because it's what's in your mind. So you can have a room full of people all tapping on slightly different things because it's whatever their experience of it has been. Like seeing a scary movie as a child, that's disrupted you. It's probably going to be a different experience for everyone in the room, but specific to you, and you get your results from it, even without sharing with other people or it being the exact same situation. So you can get that from here as well. So just so you're aware of that. And if you don't have my email, I'll say it now and at the end. It is amanda@eftuniverse.com. And I do ask for a 24-hour period to be able to receive your email so that I'm able to announce it or use whatever your concern is on the next live. So like if you did it right now, it wouldn't be till next week that I would see. So just so you're aware of that. Okay. So go ahead and wiggle your body, see if you're comfy. If you're not, go ahead and take a moment to just, if you need to stretch or if you need to shift, move your legs, move your arms, sit a little bit straighter, slump over a little bit. Sometimes it just feels good to just let gravity hold you for a second and then realign. So, whatever that looks like for you. And then let's go ahead and take whatever a centering breath looks like for you and out. And as you release it, imagine all of this stress, any over energy, any anxiety, any places where your mind is being pulled in multiple directions. Let that go out on your breath. Let it flow out as you breathe out. Let's take another breath and let all of that out. And allow all of your focus and attention to just be in the room where you are in your body in this moment in time. And give yourself permission to let everything else be put on pause just for this little space of time. That it's okay. It's okay for everything else to be paused and for you to be fully present in this moment. Let's put our hands over our hearts. Take one more breath in and out. And focusing in on a heart space where we can all connect and meet together right now. That even though we're in different time zones, in different states, in different countries, wherever we are, that we are all connected together in purpose. We're all connected energetically, and that we agree to show up and to show up for each other, and not just with our strengths, but also in sharing what's on our minds today, what our heavy burdens are, so that we can understand that we're not alone in any issue that we're feeling and experiencing at this moment, and to be able to support each other just in that understanding. And that we're going to get this moment in time to tap together, and that even if the exact issue that's weighing on you at this time isn't tapped on, that you will receive relief, that you are receiving support, and that this community does care and you do matter. And that you can receive answers and support and peace and hope today. Okay, and with that, if you've got your eyes closed, go ahead and open them. And let's begin gently tapping. And if you're not aware of where the tapping points are, don't worry, just follow along with me. You'll catch on very quickly. That's what these spots are on my face and on my hand. So if you're unfamiliar with tapping, don't worry, I gotcha, and you'll catch on really fast. So the request that I received via email is from our community member, Jamel. And I thought it was brilliant what she brought up, because I think this is an issue that it's come up for me multiple times. And I think it's a pretty common frustration to have. And it can go over it can be a recurring theme for a lot of different problems. And she called it something specific. If you know Napoleon Hill, then you would know what it was that she called it. But I'm going to be a little more general with it, just in case you weren't familiar with it. And that is when something has so much energy behind it, it's almost unstoppable. So if you have a habit, or you can look at it as something that's genetic or has family history behind it, where it's something that's been passed on, a mindset, or just something that you do, and it causes this inevitable outcome that's just got so much force behind it, there's no stopping it. And even if you're doing really, really well, and what you want is the opposite of what it is, and you're putting all of your energy towards what that opposite thing is, it still has this power to just overtake it. And that can feel really helpless, and that can feel really hopeless, which are two triggers for a trauma response. So in hearing this, there are a few curiosities that pop up into my mind, which stepping into a space of curiosity is what allows us to come up with questions that then we can address through tapping, right? Because it's all in our perception. How is my mind perceiving this? Why is this something that comes up for me? Why is this something that I believe in so strongly? Why do I see evidence of this everywhere in my life when it doesn't seem to be true for everyone? All of these are really good questions to set to your brain. So, it could have something to do with a trauma cycle. It could have something to do with a very firm belief in the brain where the brain says, well, no, this has to be true. It has to be true that I can't succeed in this, or it has to be true that I fail in this, or that this is a weakness for me. And it's because it's honoring my family, that it is this way, or it's keeping me safe because as long as, I never succeed in this, then I never have to face, the dangers of what that success would be, which would be, the secondary gain. So there's a lot of different reasons, there's a lot of different roots that this type of outcome could bring about. So, where exactly it is true for you could be very different than what it is for another person. So, I'm going to be very general in this, and what I'm going to ask of you to do is to be curious for yourself and to ask and get the answers for these questions. And if where I go with it is slightly off of where you are with it, feel free to turn your volume down and just, I mean, if you catch fire on where it's going for you, then please run with that. If we were in a one-on-one session, that is what we would do. I would follow you. So, since in this situation that's a little more difficult, if you need to turn the volume down and just follow on the tapping, by all means do that. You'll always know when I reach the end of whatever it is that we're tapping on because I stretch or I yawn or something. That's a good indication that, turn the volume back up. We're moving on. Okay. So let's dive into this together. Even though there are things that feel unstoppable in my life that I don't want, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though there are things that happen that I don't want to happen, but feel inevitable, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though right now, when I think of this thing that's in my way, and I feel like I'm helpless to make it any different, I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. I don't want to accept myself with this attribute, with this belief, with this thing in my way. Even though I resist accepting myself under these terms, I still choose to do my best to accept myself anyway. It's okay if I'm a little conflicted in this. It's okay for me to have feelings about something that's this big and intrusive in my life. It's okay for me to have strong emotions about how it affects me. I give myself permission to feel how I feel about it. This overwhelming force, this overwhelming force in my life, its effects are inevitable. it always wins, which means I always lose. I don't like losing, particularly against myself. It feels like something I should be able to control. So when I lose at controlling this, I lose in multiple ways. That really doesn't feel good. I wonder, when this does what it inevitably does in my life, what is it that I lose? What word would I use to describe what happens? Is it a loss of control? Is it a loss of success? A loss of momentum? A loss of confidence? What is it that I lose when this inevitable force screws up my efforts? Well, what if that loss is inevitable? What if I'm not wrong about this and this is going to continue to happen every single time? Ew, I don't like that question. I don't want to look at it. Even though I don't like that question and it feels gross to consider that, I'm going to give myself permission to just be curious. It's okay for me to have those emotions. I'm going to relax them, let them be, but still be curious. So, what would it mean if this force, this inevitable force, continued in my life? Do I not have any success? Does it take away everything that I've worked on? Does it take me back to absolute zero? Or is it a big frustration, but I still have forward movement? So maybe it knocks me from my current plan, but it hasn't stopped me from everything in my life. I'm able to start again, start over. But then what is the feeling I have associated with it? What do I tell myself is true about me when I have that point of where I'm having to start over? What have I decided is true about me? Have I decided that I'm not good enough? I'm not smart enough? I'm not capable? I'm ashamed? I'm embarrassed? I should just quit? That my dreams aren't possible? That I'm thinking too big? That I'm too much? That I'm foolish? What is it? What is it when I reach that point of frustration comes out that I tell myself this is evidence of. The evidence of my frustration. The truth about me because of this force in my life. I wonder if I were to look for evidence of this truth, is it really true? Is it real? Or is it a limiting belief? Whether or not I feel like it's real or a limiting belief, still choosing to deeply and completely accept myself. It's okay if I've believed things about myself that aren't true. It's okay if I'm now looking at something about myself that I feel is true. Is it okay for me to be flawed? Hmm. Is it okay for me to make mistakes? Is it okay for me to be caught completely off guard by something that I feel like I should have caught? Should have never happened. I know better. It happened anyway. Is that okay? Whether or not I feel like it's okay for me to be flawed, for me to be caught off guard, I choose to forgive myself. Even if right now I'm not quite sure I deserve forgiveness, I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm forgiving myself for. I choose to offer it up to myself anyway. I'm choosing to say, I'm sorry, self, that I expected you to be able to come up against this unyielding force with perfection. I'm sorry, self, that I expected you to be perfect all the time and put this huge weight on your shoulders. That anything that went wrong meant this conclusion, this flaw. But what now? But what now? What about when I do feel like I come across a big force? And what about when I do make mistakes and I do feel embarrassed or angry at myself? What does it mean? The meaning of my interruptions in life, the meaning of my setbacks, the meaning of my struggles, the meaning of my imperfections. Whether or not I have answers to all of this right now, I can acknowledge I do pretty good. Whether or not I have answers for all of this right now about myself, I can acknowledge that, man, I give it my best. I can acknowledge that I keep trying. And I can acknowledge I still make forward success, even if it's not exactly the success I had pictured. So, whether or not I truly have this unstoppable force in my life, I acknowledge that I still succeed. I still move forward. And whether or not I'm able to see it as a perfect success or an almost complete utter failure, I can acknowledge that I'm still moving, and that means something. And I give myself permission to have a good day and a bad day and still move forward to the next one coming. And maybe the next one will be a good day. And as I learn to be curious about this, and as I learn to explore the truths behind these feelings, I give myself permission to release these unfair tags that I've given myself because of my experiences. And that as I find them and I release them, that's doing a good job. And it's okay, regardless of how long they've been there. I'm taking care of it now. And as I allow myself this learning curve and this grace period of new skill building, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay. I hope that brought about some good insights. Because that's one that can come up over and over and over again, right? Okay. Coming over to the chat. Thank you, RC. I'm feeling better. Okay, grief, fear, and overwhelm. Okay, reactions to smells. Okay, dental trauma. Better grounding. Just gonna go and read through and then I'll go back to the beginning. Needing to control the way things go, okay? Okay, Lydia and Impressed, I hope that it's becoming a little bit more clear. We tap on what's in your way, limiting beliefs. There are links that I can send you to explain what tapping is a little bit more in depth than what you're going to get here. We more just kind of jump into it. Um, Paralyzing energy of I-O. Okay. Second for dental. self-acceptance. Okay, fear of growing old. Love you too, Jackie. Why I can't be healed. Okay. Fear of driving. Okay. So Jean has a question. I'm going to address that just real fast. How do you know what to say? And physically exhausted, you had to stop. Um, what you say is generally just whatever's lighting up, what feels true to you. So it's acknowledging your own cadence. So in working with someone one-on-one is very different than working in a group. So there's more responsibility put to people in a group type setting because I can't mimic everyone's cadence, right? At the same time, and especially in this setting, I'm kind of just putting out there what I hope is best for everyone. So as far as what I know what to say in this type of setting would be a very different question as far as what would you say? So to give some advice to that, if I say, okay, let's tap on fear, and you're like, fear isn't really ringing something for me. But if I say terror, ooh, that really lights up a lot of things for me. Then I would say, anytime I say fear, you say terror, because that's what makes it specific to you. That lights up, I can think of so many things related to that. It's all about what's stored in your brain, because what we're doing is we're questioning what the current status quo is for you, and having your brain go, oh, well, is that still true right this moment, or is that something in the past that I'm running my life on that isn't true anymore? And that's the key to how EFT is successful. So it's um, at the beginning, it's a learning curve, a hit and miss of what to say. But the how you know you're in a good vein of it is when you're like, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But if it's taking what I've said and shifting it, for you, perfect, do that. And sometimes that can be one of the biggest learning curves in EFT is allowing yourself that empowerment, right? Because we're taught to follow coaches and to listen to the exact advice of our medical professionals. It's different in this narrow scope of what EFT is that it very much gives you more success in your own brain if you go, oh, but this is what's more true for me, and you go with that. So I hope that helps in knowing what to say, particularly if you're tapping on your own, but even here with me, shifting it for yourself to make it more applicable for you. And the brain, the way it's wired, if you get into one thing to light up, then chances are you're going to hit on more things that will light up as well. So being more specific tends to be better than general. And the only time, well, there's some caveats to that. I'll stop myself there. I won't keep explaining because I want to keep tapping. Um, but I hope that's helpful. I do have a lot of videos that explain it on this channel. There's a whole playlist. And you're welcome to send in questions that I can also turn into videos, not just that we address here in this tapping. So if you have questions that you would like for me to make a video, I post videos every week. More than happy to make a video on it for you. So would love it. Send me emails and I'll make you videos. Okay, so what I'm seeing, a few things that we can kind of group together to tap on um, is things that feel big, things that feel out of control, out of your control. Whether it's a fear of something, um, but fear from dental trauma. What are you concerned of? Well, you're not in control of it, right? And it's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. And are you doing the right thing? I don't know. I'm having to trust this person, and they look in my mouth, and this is what they're telling me has to be done. Do I get another opinion? Is there a better way to do it? Do I? There's a lot of reliance when it comes to that, and that tends to go into overwhelm, right? I would say, Katrina, what you're describing, the reactions, the smells, that's an overwhelm as well, right? It's just, oh, and you never know when you're gonna what your smells you're gonna encounter, right? If you're not in control of your environment, then there's that fear of that intrusion. I don't know the mast cell activation syndrome. I'm not familiar with what that is, but just with what you've put here, I'm guessing that you have a very intense response to chemicals and smells that you encounter that you don't have control over. So um, let's go for overwhelm due to um, negative potential expectations of environment. That wasn't super clear. I'll try to be better than that. Sorry. Like I said, still foggy brain. Um, yeah. Not lack of trust in what I'm coming up against in my environment. So even though I am encountering things in my life that have negative consequences for me, and I don't feel like I'm in control of it, I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though right now I feel like I have to deal with these big negative consequences that are inevitable because I don't have any other choices. And that feels really overwhelming. Even in this space, I'm choosing right now to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm in this situation and I have this vulnerability, and I know there's this unpleasantness that is a part of it, and I feel helpless to do anything about that, I still choose, even with all of that, to deeply and completely accept myself anyway. With all of that, I still accept myself. Accepting myself, even with overwhelm. Accepting myself, even with fear. Accepting myself, even with an impending sense of doom, an impending sense of out of control of my environment. Accepting myself, even though I feel so vulnerable. Accepting myself, even though this makes me feel so weak. Accepting myself, even though I feel like I'm forcing myself to experience something I don't want to experience. Accepting myself, even though I feel like, what other choice do I have? I acknowledge this space that I'm in, and I offer myself compassion. I give myself permission to feel compassion for this space that I'm in. It's a hard space. There isn't an easy answer right now. And not only is that okay, because hard spaces do exist, but it's okay for me to feel these feelings about it. Being in a hard space like this is really crappy. Nobody likes it. It's okay that I don't like it either. And maybe I'm struggling to see an upside to any of it. And that's okay. It's okay to struggle to see an upside to a crappy situation. Allowing myself to feel all the feelings I have about this. Allowing myself to acknowledge every aspect of what this space brings and to really just let it out. Even if every speck of it is super negative, I give myself permission to just let it out. But does that mean that this really is just gloom and doom? That there is no upside? That there is no victory or conquering, or that it's just terrible and that's just the truth of it? Maybe. Maybe that's what it means. But even if it is, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even if I never find an upside to this experience, I choose to accept myself anyway. Do you know this thing? It's not my whole life. Even if this one thing is big, particularly big right now, still isn't everything. And even if this thing is 100% negative, it doesn't mean my life is 100% negative. And maybe if I just let this be what it is and I stop trying to make it something more positive or more strong or just more, maybe it can just be what it is. I can spend more time and energy on things that I want and that feel good and give more power to that. And maybe I have to somewhat experience this, and there's no escaping going through what this experience brings to me. And maybe there are parts of it I can put down. But one thing I know for sure, it's not my entire life. And I do know that I do have the power and the ability to plant and grow other things that feel a whole lot better to focus on. But does that make me delusional? If I focus on something that's happy when I'm not happy, if I focus on something else when this very real thing is right here, does that make me delusional? Well, I'm not ignoring it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just allowing it to be what it is. And then focusing on other things that are also just as true. Just as true, that maybe feel better. What if I give more time and attention to that? What other truths do I have? And yes, I may need to focus on this other thing at times. It's okay if it's valid in my life, but I have other valid things too. What other valid things would I like to focus on? What other valid things feel good to focus on? But am I allowed to focus on good things when I have a bad thing? Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe it's okay for there to be good and bad at the same time in my life. Maybe it's okay to have percentages of things that occur simultaneously. And I'll give this negative thing the attention that it needs to have in order for me to function, in order for me to get through it. But then also, I can give myself permission to focus on these other things and really allow that space to grow too. Because maybe it's not true that in order to feel good, I have to eliminate all of my bad first. Maybe, just like changing the radio station, I can just change to focusing on something good and allow myself to feel that good, even if the bad is still there. And I got to focus on it again at some point. It doesn't have to be gone in order for me to give permission for myself to feel a moment of peace, to feel a moment of joy, to laugh, to smile. Maybe it's okay to let that be bigger and exist, even if I still have this other thing. And as I work on this, as I learn and remind myself that this possibility is there, and even if I'm really terrible at it at first, and even if I quit and then start again, I deeply and completely accept myself as I work on it. Because it's okay if it takes me a while, and it's okay if it's a learning process. I accept myself however it looks for me. And any amount that I'm able to feel better is a win. Okay. It's a good reminder to have sometimes. Okay. So again, I know that was generalized, but I hope that that really reached um, a lot of what I'm seeing here in the chat today. So give me feedback. Let me know. Let me know how that's working for you, how you're feeling right now. We have time for one more round of tapping. So I'm just going back to the chat and seeing what a good all encompassing for all of us to head out for the rest of this week. And Michael, I see you. I see in here how you're talking you need to release trauma so badly, the breathing is difficult, that you need relief. Um, are you feeling better now? Or are you feeling a shift? Let me know. Good, good, good. Okay, Linda, I like your question. I forgive myself, but other people don't. So that need for, forgiveness, that's a very valid thing to tap on. Okay, good. I'm seeing that it's working for a lot of you, so that's great. Um, okay, I'll address this question real fast, and then we're gonna tap at the end. So Karen asked, "Does it matter what words you say on what points?" Um, I do use a lot of words on the setup point. So this is the only one that I'll go into depth on right now. So all of these points are called acupoints. They're on what are called energy meridians. It has to do with traditional Chinese medicine, and each point has just a font of a fount of information, not a particular style of writing, um, on each individual point. So there's a lot of, if you dive into traditional Chinese medicine, there's a lot of reasons on why you would use, a stomach meridian versus bladder meridian versus, and that can get intense and confusing depending on what your capacity is on how you make decisions on it. The only thing I want to share as to why I stay here is because this one in particular, which is on the small intestine meridian, is for psychological reversal. And what I mean by that is when you're confused about um, releasing something, when you're like, oh, well, why is this a thing in my life? And I want to let it go, but I can't let it go. And I'm trying to get results here, but I never seem to make it. Um, there's it's messy. It's not linear in, oh, well, I just want to release this thing and poof, there, now it's done. So easy. This point in particular can help when it's a pretty deeply complicated, wound issue. That's why I will stay here longer, particularly when I'm saying phrases that contradict what it is that you're actually trying to do or that contradict each other. So if I say, I believe that I can, I don't believe that I can, maybe I can, it's impossible that I can. Whether or not I believe that I can, that's this point has been said to be the most effective at that. So that would be the reason for that. There can be reasons for tapping on each one. I don't want you to think, oh no, I need to know all of that so that I'm the most effective. Don't put that pressure on yourself. As long as you're tapping on the points, it's proven scientifically it's effective. And this one just has that added effectivity. Okay. And then this one too, but that has to do with the nine gamut, which we're not going to get into today. We've done it a few times on here. There's videos on it. So go through the channel. You can type in nine, the number nine, gamut, GAMUT, and you'll get a very in-depth explanation of what that is. But yeah, this point, if you only tap on one point or you're not sure, you're not getting a lot of results, this point and this point really move the needle. So, and by move the needle, I mean can help you find a place of release. Okay. Um, it does not matter, RC, if you repeat out loud or in your head. If you just hear your own voice, even inside of your head while I'm speaking, that's enough. Yeah, I don't always pause for you to repeat everything that I'm saying. That's just kind of my own style. Um, it's more, does it fit for me? Do I believe it? I don't quite believe it. Shift it. Sort of a thing. Word for word doesn't have to exist. Um, so for wrapping up today, I want to tap on belief. How much how much do I believe it's possible? How much do I believe in the possibility of? And I want you to fill in what's the most um, true for you right now. The possibility of me actually healing, the belief that I'll get better, that I can improve, that my life can shift to this place that I'm reaching for. So how much do you believe that for the what you have in your heart? And I want my body to heal. I want answers for something. I want release of my past. I Whatever it is that you're reaching for. How much do you believe that it's real that you can get there? And be honest with yourself. If it's like, oh, not at all. Nope, I don't believe that a bit. Or if it's like a two, or yeah, no, I believe it at like an eight, if I could just stop being myself, sort of a thing. Whatever comes to you for that, that's perfect. That is brilliant. So start there. Okay. Even though, as I ask myself how much I believe this is possible, I feel it's fill in the blank for you. I'm going to say it's not, just it's not possible. I deeply and completely accept myself anyway. Even though, as I just ask myself a simple question, do I believe it's real? Do I believe it's possible? And my answer is nope. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though, as I consider the reality of what I want for myself, and my answer is depressing, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. My belief in what I want. Believing I can get what I want. Admitting to myself how I really feel about how possible this is. And choosing that whatever that is, I make the choice to deeply and completely accept myself with where I am with it right now. Now we're going to do a little bit of it's going to feel a little radical, but just trust me on this. Because the truth is, no one's ever really succeeded at this. Because the truth is, it's all fake and lies anyway. Because the truth is, no one's ever actually succeeded in this. Because the truth is, it's always been impossible. Because the truth is, it was never going to happen. But do I believe that? As I say it in such absolute terms, does that feel right? Do I feel peace when I say those things out loud to myself? Or do I reject them? So maybe what I've had is a fear that it's not real. Maybe what I've had is a fear to trust my own belief. Maybe what I've had is a fear of discovering I was wrong in my belief. Maybe it's not so much that I believe that it can't happen. And maybe it's that I'm really afraid that I'm going to try my hardest and find out. And that's going to hurt. You know what? It's okay for me to be afraid because it's a big deal. This belief is a big deal to me. I've got a lot of emotions and thoughts and parts of my life invested in it. It's pretty natural to have fears about something that's this big. So it's okay that I've been afraid of it. And it's okay that I've been afraid to believe in it. But if I set the fear aside and I just look at it, what is the truth? Is it true that no one has succeeded in this? And what about myself? Is it true that I don't succeed ever in my life at anything? Or maybe this isn't quite so black and white in these terms. Maybe it's a little more complicated and messy. And maybe I have some conflicting feelings, and that makes this a little confusing. And maybe I've got baggage, past experiences that make it difficult to see clearly. And maybe my movement forward isn't linear, and that feels unstable to me, which makes it more difficult to believe in sometimes. But looking at it and admitting that it's complicated doesn't make it less likely for me to succeed, does it? What does success in this mean? We'll go just another minute or two. I know we're a little bit over. What do I believe success in this looks like? And I often picture the very end. So is it all of a sudden one day I'll wake up and I'm there? Or is it not quite that linear and black and white in the process? Maybe it's incremental. Maybe success in this is a little complicated too. Maybe it's a little bit messy. So then, how do I know? How do I know how much belief to put in my success? Well, what did it look like last week? What did it look like last month? What did it look like last year? Am I moving in the right direction? Maybe that's my success. And maybe my belief is acknowledging that. And it still may take me a while to reach that end. What I have been calling success, that when I reach there, that's success. And maybe my idea of success will shift before I get there. But maybe as I'm going along, I can add this definition in and see that I'm still making progress in giving myself that trust. If I can make this progress, I bet I can make more. And that's how I'll determine how much I believe and what I'm going after. And I don't have to put pressure on myself to believe it 100% before I do it. That's not real life. I'll look at right now. I'll look at what I've done. And maybe that'll make it easier for me to figure out tomorrow, next week, next year. And throughout this whole process, I dedicate to myself, and I will continue to deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, breathe that in. Thank you for staying a few extra minutes with me on that. I just didn't want to cut it any shorter than I already did. So thanks for hanging out. As I said, please email me. Let me know if you have questions, if you want a video on it, if it's something you want to tap on our Tuesdays. Remember that tomorrow is the beginning of our 21-day tapping challenge. Join it if you haven't. The link is on our website. So if you go to EFTUniverse.com, there is I don't know what they're called, a thingy that you can click on up at the top. There's a page dedicated to it. And if you still can't find it, you can email EFT support at EFT Universe, and they can help. You can email me. I can help less, but I'll do my best. And if you have questions or something you want to email me in, Amanda at EFTUniverse.com is how you can reach me. Have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I will hold you in my mind and in my heart, and I'll see you next week. And if you're doing the tapping challenge, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Mwah. Take care.